How about that? Are we good? Woo. Okay. Looks like we're spiking up there. Sweet. So, hello everybody. Kain 541204 here, or as I like to be known as, Harley D. Stacy, and I am here to give my thoughts on the newest Star Wars Unlimited set. So, what I have here to start us off is we have the dreaded tier lists that you would expect from a Star Wars, like what's good, what's bad. And this is coming from a general new player. I am a judge for Star Wars Unlimited. It's how I ended up with my big thing that people saw last time, which I guess I can pull it out. There's a stool out. Let's stand on its own. Don't need the stool right now. So, that thing. Which is very nice. I got it because I'm a judge for a game store. There we go. But yeah, we are going to discuss Star Wars Unlimited. And I'm actually very excited. On a second tab, I have the cards pulled up so we can get a big look at them. I have them down here. So, I have S through D for the leaders, and I have S, B, and D for the bases. Now, in this newest expansion of Star Wars Unlimited, the bases now have a secondary function where now they are Force-based lands. And I actually kind of have an opinion on which of them is the better Force land. But not all of them are Force-based. But they still do something for the Force. So, I've got my Mountain Dew. I've got a backup Mountain Dew in case I drink through that one all the way. I have my bottle of water in case I drink through all those. And we're going to do a lot of talking today. So, let's buckle our seatbelts and let's get ready because this is going to be a long stream. So, first things first, I think we should pull up one of the newest bases. It is Virgint's Temple. It is a rare land. When the regroup phase starts, if you control a unit with 4 or more remaining hit points, the Force is with you. For 25 hit points, this is very good. So, in Star Wars Unlimited, most bases start with 30 life, but most of the rare lands start with somewhere in between 25 and 30. I haven't seen anything dip below 25. Actually, that is not true. There is a land that does 24, and I don't think anybody really ever plays it, but I could be wrong. As for this one, it is this one. I'm putting that in S tier. This is really, really good, especially for Vigilance. Most of your Vigilance cards are going to have 4 or more remaining hit points, because mostly Vigilance focuses on healing. Like, almost every card that has Restore in some way comes from Vigilance, and having ways of having 4 or more remaining hit points, this land is very, very good. Like, starting off with a fucking banger. this is a really good temple. This is a really good base, because just being able to, if you have at the start of the regroup phase, let's say you have any of the leaders from this set, and you are dipping your toes in blue, and you're trying to do vigilance on top of whatever they're doing, this is just straight up the best land you're going to take, because almost everything you're going to get is going to have 4 or more. Yeah, immediate S tier. Next is the Night Sister Lair. Let's pull it up. Night Sister Lair for 28. So 28 hit points, so it's not as good. When a friendly force unit attacks, the force is with you. So this just triggers whenever a friendly force unit attacks. So if you're playing straight, I love the fact that this is the Night Sisters and not anything else, because the Daughters of Dathomir is a force unit that is blue. I actually run it in my Yoda deck, so this is very funny. The Night Sisters lair is on Dathomir. When a friendly force unit attacks, the force is with you, which is you create a force token. By the way, you only get 1 force token. By the way. You only can have 1 force token at a time. So if you attack, get a force token. I wonder if you can have a unit. We haven't gotten to the leaders yet, but if I'm gonna be keeping an eye out on the leaders to see if they have a once per turn clause in their writing. Because if they don't, these, when a friendly force unit attacks, get the force, is very good. Because then you can literally set it up to where, and by the way, I'm not doing this in a bubble. This isn't just the Legend of the Force. I'm looking at this set purely as throughout the entirety of the Star Wars sets. And this, I believe almost every color has a base that does exactly what the Night Sisters lair does. I would put this as a B. Not because it's bad, but because it's good if you have a bunch of Force users. If you're running a bunch of Force users, this card is very good because you can trigger it multiple times. Outside of that, we are going to be looking at our leaders and seeing if any of them have a hard once per turn clause. If they do, then that will be put down to D tier because it's not nearly as good. So it's going to be very flexible as we go. Next one is the Shadowed Undercity. Shadowed Undercity on Coruscant. When a friendly force unit attacks, the force is with you. So it's exactly the same as the Night Sisters lair. They're both 28s. Okay, we'll put that as a B. Let's take a look at these. Is it going to be the same? Okay. So, let's look at green. Green is next. The Mystic Monastery. 25 hit points. Action. The force is with you. Create a force token. Use this ability no more than 3 times each game. Ew. That is... I'm not a fan of that. First of all, it's an action. Just straight up, you have to have an action to do this. So you have to use an action to do it. So, I mean, turn 1, action, get a force. The force is with you, so you can immediately use a force power. But the fact that you can only do it 3 times sucks. I don't like the fact that there's a limit. Like, let's look back at this temple. This temple, straight up, is better because it doesn't limit how many times you can get the force token. And the reason why I think that is because the Mystic Monastery is... it's in green. Like, almost every ramp deck is playing green. Like, so green is command, if I remember correctly. Red is aggression, yellow's cunning, blue is vigilance, red is green is command. And command, I feel like command would have something a little bit more than just you get to do this 3 times. I'm not a fan of this. The Mystic Monastery's D tier. I don't like it. I do not like how it's just 3 times. Like, okay, use the Force once. You can use the ability no more than 3 times each game. There's no way to flicker it. There's no way to bounce it. And as a rare base, which, by the way, rare bases usually have 1 of 2 outcomes. They're either really, really good or really, really bad. And I don't feel like sacrificing 25 life, sacrificing 5 life to use an ability 3 times. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a bunch of bases that you get, like, 1 action. You get, like, an epic action, and that's it. But even those are better. Like, ones do the red ones, like, do 3 damage to a unit. Another is, what is it? I want to say it's, like, draw a card or something. Like, what, the fucking green one is or, is it green or blue? It's either green, blue, or red. It's where you give something ambush. And you can only do that once. But even that is better than this. If the ability is a hard once per turn, this is especially bad. Like, I just thought of that. Like, if the force powers are a hard once per turn, this is even worse. I do not like the Mystic Monastery. The Mystic Monastery is D tier. Moving on. The other 2 greens are whenever a friendly force unit, we will put those in B tier. I feel those are better to play than the Mystic Monastery, honestly. Like, you would be unlucky to get a Mystic Monastery in your pre-release kit, and that's, if you want to play green, that's all you have. That, I do not like the Mystic Monastery. So, Fortress of Vader and Strangled Cliffs are also... What's the art on Temple of Destruction? Okay, so we're just going to put these guys... Crystal Caves and the Holy City. Crystal Caves, Holy City. Okay, that leaves us 2 more bases. The Temple of Destruction and Tomb of Elamar. So, Temple of Destruction, it's 25, it's aggression. When a friendly unit deals 3 or more combat damage to an enemy unit, the force is with you. This is exactly what red wants to do. This is what aggression wants. This is straight up what aggression wants. Almost every card that's in aggression, by turn 2, turn 3, you're attacking for 3 or more damage. I have a straight red aggression deck with Major Von Reg, where by turn 4, if I'm not doing 7 points of damage, I'm not doing it right. This is just insane. Like, this is what you want to do with fucking... This is what you want out of aggression. You want it to be straight up, do 3 damage, get something out of it. S tier. It is phenomenal. Honestly, I think I like it over the other temple. Honestly, I do. I like it over the other temple. Alright. Tomb of Elram. Action. Exhaust a friendly unit. The force is with you. This is way... Holy shit. Okay. Wow. Okay, that is insane. So first of all, I'm just going to say this outright. Exhausting your units to get some kind of benefit is so much like Cunning. Like, almost every card in Cunning is straight up, like, exhausting either your stuff or your enemy stuff. Admiral Akbar from Jump to Lightspeed comes to mind, exhaust a unit, make an X. The owner of that unit makes an X-wing. Like, just I'm gonna exhaust friendly unit, get the force. Like, and if I just thought of something. If this is indicative, okay, if the force powers are not once per turn, there is no reason not to run this card. Seriously, if the force powers are not a hard once per turn, and you can constantly get the force, if you are running yellow, if your leader is not yellow, or if you are doing double yellow, there is no reason not to run this. If you want yellow in your deck, there is no reason not to run this. There is no reason not to run this over the other two. In fact, I would drop those down into D tier because this exists. I'm not even kidding. This is straight up, this is S tier, and it is the best, in my opinion. It is the best fucking base out of this set, bar none. That is the best. Simply because of the fact that you exhaust your own shit, you get the force, and if it's not a hard once per turn, you get to activate the force multiple times. And ways to make it a hard once per turn would be like exhaust this leader, or you can only do this ability once per turn. That would be a hard once per turn. So we're gonna get into the leaders, but this legitimately is the best land of the game. Bar none. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you think you are. That is the best. So we're going to get ourselves set up, start doing the leaders. I'm actually very excited for the leaders. Because I love going through Star Wars leaders and just deck building. Just off the top of my head, brewing is just some of the funnest shit I've ever done. So, on to the leaders. First things first, let's open up Kylo Ren. Is there a way to flip them? There is. Sweet. Okay. Well, let's read him from here then. Okay, Kylo Ren. Discard a card from your hand. If you discard an upgrade this way, draw a card. Oh, okay, that's not bad. 5/5 with Sentinel for 7? Okay, you better have a really good power. When deployed, play any number of upgrades from your discard. Oh my god. Oh, one at a time, paying their costs. Never mind. This is not nearly as good as I thought it was going to be. Still good. Let me clarify. Kylo Ren is still good. But you got to be running a lot of upgrades. You got to be running a lot of upgrades to make Kylo Ren good. Like, half your deck needs to be upgrades, and even that is pushing it, in my opinion. Personally, I am not a fan of upgrades in Star Wars. I personally think building a deck around the upgrade systems, you've got to be having something on top of the upgrades. Personally, y'all can shoot me in the comments if you want. The best upgrade leader is the Mandalorian, just because he affects your opponent's stuff as well as his own. But for Kylo Ren, solid B. I wouldn't be upset to have him, but if I'm not running upgrades at all, he is worthless. He is not worth playing. And the turn I flip him, the turn I flip Kylo Ren, I better be putting a bunch of upgrades onto him. So, yeah, solid B. Mother Talzin. Right, she is a Night Sister. Force unit. Action. I believe this is exhaust. So, exhaust, use the force, lose your force token, give a unit -1/-1 for this phase. Okay, so So she does exhaust herself, so it is a once per turn. If you control 5 or more resources, deploy. So at 5, she deploys as a 3/7, which isn't bad. On attack, giving unit -1/-1 for this phase. Believe it or not, that -1/-1 actually might matter. Like, if you're going up against a 4/4, Mother Talzin can turn it into a 1/1, making it into a 3/3, and Mother Talzin can kill it. And not even that. Let's say Mother Talzin attacks, you use the -1/-1 on her. Oh fuck! Let's even say like you're running her in blue green, you know. In which case you're running one of these attack lands, which you're getting the force, but and you've got like super laser tech on the board, or you've got something that you want to die, or even then, if your opponent's running stuff that is got 1 power left, she can wipe shit out. That being said, I don't like the fact that her -1/-1 doesn't get any stronger on her flip. I don't like the fact that you have to use the force, you have to exhaust her, just to give something -1/-1, and then when she flips, she does it again. I don't like that. Personally, I think Mother Talzin is... I honestly think Mother Talzin is a C. I don't think she's any stronger than... I honestly don't think she's any stronger than Kylo Ren, only because Ren has his own power, and it can give you some form of card advantage if you are dipping your way into that. So, and it exhausts him to do it, but... Alright, Ahsoka Tano. Action, exhaust her, use the force. Give a friendly unit sentinel for this phase. So I'm assuming that using the force is definitely a once per turn. So we're 3 liters in, and it is a hard once per turn, because it seems like almost every force unit exhausts themselves. So unfortunately, this is no longer considered the best land in the game. Well, it's still better. The aggression now is B, personally, and the attack, well, not even then. I guess it would still be a C. I mean, it just changes these two's positioning, where it's... You know, that raises an interesting question. Like, does that make the monastery good? The answer is no. The monastery is still bad. The fact that it puts a limit on how many times you can use the force, I fucking hate it. Let's flip Ahsoka Tano. What's her back say? Uh-oh. Do we not have her back? There it is. Here we go. On attack, give a friendly unit sentinel for this phase. I mean, it's a 5/6 for 6, which is what the original Ahsoka was. So the original Ahsoka, which was an aggressive heroic deck, was 5/6 as well. For I want to say 5. So she goes up 1, but she gives something sentinel for the phase, which is fine. Which I actually, you know what? Thinking about that, that actually is better. Because if you use Ahsoka's lightsabers, you know, I just thought of that. If you use Ahsoka's lightsabers, give them to the new Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka attacks, gives something sentinel, so she just hit you for 7 damage, which is what her lightsabers would do. Because I believe she's a 3/6 in that version. Coordinate +2/+0. Yeah, and then her lightsabers gives her +2, so it's about 7 damage. So giving her +2 power, you throw her lightsabers at her, she swings, gives something sentinel, and she literally is hiding behind a brick wall. I mean, yeah, I think Ahsoka Tano is our first A. She is an A, strong contender for S. She is a really powerful leader. I am actually very surprised with Ahsoka Tano. This Ahsoka is really strong because being able to give something Sentinel, just being able to give something Sentinel for a turn is just really strong. And if you give something that has like shield tokens and stuff like that, Sentinel, it's just, oh, such a nightmare to deal with. Yeah, Ahsoka's great. Next, and I believe this is our last, yeah, this is our last heroic, or our last blue, this is our last blue leader, our last vigilance leader. Kanan Jarrus. Action, pay 1, exhaust, give a shield token to a creature or specter. So he doesn't use the Force. You actually have to use a resource to do this. Interesting. So you give a shield token to a creature or specter. On attack, when he deploys, he becomes shielded. So he automatically enters with a shield as a 3/6 for 6. And while you control another specter or unit or creature unit, this unit gets +2/+2. I think Kanan Jarrus is going in A. He's respectable. I mean, he's a 3/6 for 6, which isn't great. But being able to give shield tokens, just straight up giving shield tokens to creatures or specters, there are so many creatures out there that are super strong. And specters, too, are really powerful. So being able to just give them shield tokens is nuts, especially considering it doesn't require... So one of the issues I have with the original Luke Skywalker is that you have to, when you use his ability, which is use a resource and tap him, you give a resource, or you give a shield token to a creature that just entered the battlefield, and it had to be a heroic thing. But if you're playing Kanan Jarrus and you're playing creatures or specters, this guy can give them shield tokens once per turn, and then when he flips, he himself gets a shield, and gets +2/+2 if you control another unit, which you should based off of the shields. Like, for what he really good. And the difference between him and Kylo Ren, he doesn't have to pay for the fucking units and things you play. Like, straight up. Yeah, Kanan's really good. I'd put him in A. I'd put him directly underneath Ahsoka Tano. He's good. Alright. We're going into Command now. Morgan Elsbeth, Force Imperial Night Sister. He is Command Villainy, or she, my apologies. Action, exhaust, choose a friendly unit that attacked this phase. Play a unit from your hand that shares a keyword with the chosen unit. Costs 1 less. I don't know if I like this or not. I don't know if I like this or not. Like, if you're playing a deck that uses a bunch of keywords like Sentinel or Ambush or anything like that, if you're running something that's running a bunch of keywords, this is fine. You're basically running alphabet soup. And it costs 1 less, but I don't know. I don't like the fact that you have to have another unit to attack with. You have to have another creature on board to make this work. And if you don't have another creature on board, this thing doesn't pop off at all. And its flip side says, on attack, the next unit you play this phase costs 1 less if it shares keyword with a friendly unit. Again, same problem. I just do not like the fact that I don't like it. I really don't. It's fine, but again, it's going in C. It's not strong, it's not very powerful, and if you're not running a bunch of keywords, she's pointless. Alright, Supreme Leader Snoke, Command Villainy, Action, 1 resource, exhaust, give an experience token to a unit with the most power among friendly villain units. If multiple units are tied, choose 1. So you give experience tokens to a unit that has the most power. So we're literally playing Grand Moff Tarkin, except worse. Like, oh god, Grand Moff Tarkin is literally pay a resource, exhaust him, put a fucking experience token on an Imperial. The only difference is this requires it to be a villainy unit, not just... Yeah, see, if you're running a villainy-based deck, this is fine, but it's not great. But if you're running a deck that's got a buttload of non-villainy units, and you've got, like, a handful of villainy units, you're not going to be using Supreme Leader Snoke's ability very often. What's his flip side? He's a 4/7 for 6, so you have 6 resources, deploy him. On attack, give an experience token to the unit with the most power. Technically, he can target himself. And that's what's sad. Like, yeah, you can flip him over and you can start pumping him, but if you pump him too much, he's not pumping anything else, so when he loses, or when he dies, he's gone. Yeah. I think Snoke's gonna join his little... I think he's gonna join Kylo Ren in B tier. He does a thing, he does it well, but outside of doing that one thing well, it's not great. Ava Chris. So, Avar Chris is a Force, Jedi, Republic, Command, Heroic. Action. Exhaust the forces with you. Create it. Wait a minute. Are you telling me that some of the cards outside of the leader use the Force? If that is what you're telling me, then this goes back to like this. And suddenly this becomes legendary. I gotta do this now. And only one fucking base sits at that point. Because this chick makes the Force token. She just makes it. So, epic action. If the number of resources you control, plus the number of times you use the Force this phase, is 9 or more, deploy this leader. Wait a minute. Okay, if the number of resources you control, plus the number of times you use the Force this phase, is 9 or more, deploy this leader. So, once again, it is pointing towards the idea that there are cards in this set outside of the leaders that use the Force. And if Avar Chris, if you have 5 resources and you use the Force 5 times, or 4 times, you can play her. Oh my god. I may have to go through the individual card by card. And if we go through the card by card tonight, guess what? We're keeping this tier list in mind while we're going through that. Because if my theory is correct and there are more cards that use the Force than her, then straight up I have a green-yellow deck that I am thinking of building. While the Force is with you, this unit gets +4/+0 and gains Overwhelm. Fuck, she's a 4/10? And if you do your shit correctly by turn 5, you can play her. S tier? Like, if I'm reading this correctly, if the number of resources you control, plus the number of times you use the Force this phase, is 9 or more, deploy this leader. And again, the legendary Force base, I exhaust people to get the Force. I'm thinking of a hellaciously green-yellow deck, and that is fucking funny. God, a 4/10 with Overwhelm? Or not even a 4/10, an 8/10 with Overwhelm. Like, straight up, if you play it correctly, if you're playing these two, like, straight up, you are... Ooh. That is fucked up. We gotta do the card by card, but let's keep in mind, this is where this combination is going. That is hard to beat. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Action, use the Force, exhaust, give an experience token to a unit without an experience token on it. So, basically doing what Snoke does, but the opposite. You actually get to choose what units you're putting this on. And it's 5 resources and 6, which I like. On attack, you may give an experience token to another unit without an experience token on it. Yeah, I'm going to put him next to Snoke, but better. Obi-Wan's fine. In fact, I put him above Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren's going underneath Snoke. But, yeah, fucking Obi-Wan's fine. Obi-Wan's good. I like Obi-Wan's ability to give something an experience counter if it doesn't already have one. Like, if you're building a deck around it, you're literally building a deck around Obi-Wan giving stuff experience counters and, you know, just buffing from there. He's fine. B tier. It's about average. Now we're going into aggression. Darth Maul. Action, use the Force, deal 1 damage to a unit, 1 damage to a different unit. So, literally just... I'm going to ping 2 units. That ain't bad. I mean, it's not, like, great, but it's not bad for aggression. If you have ways of getting the Force, and you want to reliably ping something down, it's not bad. If you have ways of getting the Force consistently, this is pretty good. If you control 6 or more resources, deploy this leader. On attack, deal 1 damage to a unit and deal N1 damage to a different unit. Yeah, it's literally the same thing on his flip side. He's fine. Like, he does exactly what you want him to do. You want him to ping, you want him to fight. Funnily enough, he's going to go in B tier. Actually, you know what? He's going to go in A tier. I just thought about it. He's going to go in A tier. Darth Maul does what he wants to do, and he does it consistently. If you have a base that lets you get the Force consistently, if you've built a deck around him and being able to get the Force consistently, Darth Maul's fine. Third Sister. Action. Exhaust. Play a unit from your hand. It gets hidden for this phase. What's hidden? It can't be attacked for this phase unless it has Sentinel. Okay. Yeah, that was from Shadows of the Empire. I haven't really seen a lot of hidden stuff, but that's fine. Yeah. I actually don't mind that, because it makes it to where if you play something out of your hand, it's exhausted. Like, because everything you play from your hand that's a unit comes into play exhausted, no matter what you do. Just hits the board, it's exhausted, straight. So, this means no matter what, you're playing something and it stays on the board, unless it has Sentinel. Which is fine. I like it. It's consistent. It does something very, very specific. Hidden, this unit cannot be attacked if she was deployed this phase. Okay, so 5/4 for 5. She literally can't be touched until the phase is over. On attack, the next unit you play this phase gains hidden. She's fine. A tier. No, B tier. We'll put her next to Obi-Wan. She does something, and she does it consistently. She's fine. You know what? We're going to drop Maul down. These two are going to go down. There we go. That feels better. Just because it's consistent. C for consistent. You know, it does something well. You know what? I actually like her better than Maul. We'll put Third Sister with Obi-Wan, which is funny. So, Kit Fisto. Jedi Force Republic. Action. Pay 1, tap. If you attack with a Jedi unit this phase, deal 2 damage to a unit. Okay. Well, I mean, if you're playing a bunch of Jedi, this is pretty nice. I mean, at least it's not coordinate. If you attack with a Jedi for 1 resource, you do 2 damage to a unit. It's a little bit of, like, spot removal. Like, it's 2 damage. If you do it consistently enough, again, it's like spot removal. It's single target. It's not the greatest, but it's fine. This unit gets +1/+0 for each other friendly Jedi unit, and he has Saboteur. So this set's got to have a bunch of Jedi then, because that's a 1/6 for 5. But Saboteur's not bad. Being able to sneak around Sentinel, and he has a buff effect on himself. I mean, yeah, Kit Fisk does fine. Like, I'm not... again, it's the same thing as Kylo Ren, where you're specifically building around Jedi. If you're not playing Jedi in your deck, this guy does nothing. But I feel like it's a lot better than just upgrades. I am never not gonna just shit on Kylo Ren. Alright, next is Rey. Alright. Let's see. Action Exhaust. If you played a non-unit Force card this phase, deal 1 damage to a unit. 7 to Flipper for a 6/8. When deployed, discard your hand if you do draw 2 cards. If your hand has only got 1 card in it, this is fine, which at 7 resources probably is the case. But I don't like it. I really don't like it, because you have to have 7 resources, so you're probably sitting turn 5. You've resourced every turn. You've done 1 damage every turn. You're not playing Force shit, which is what is mostly in this set. Like, straight up. Rey, join these guys. You can join the fucking D-tier squad. Rey is not great. I don't like the fact that you have to play a non-Force unit to do it. You have to deal 1 damage to a unit to do it. You know, you have to have a unit to damage. And then when you deploy her for 7 resources, you discard your hand and draw 2. That just doesn't feel good. If you have to pitch your hand to draw 2 cards and you're still not getting anywhere, this guy, Rey, is bad. Rey fucking sucks. I put her above the other 2 just because she's got a bigger stat. Like, she's a 6/8, which is fine. At least she's got a decent-sized ass. You know, a 7, an 8 hit point character for 7 resources is good. She at least won't die in 1 smack. I say that knowing there are ways to do it. But yeah, she's not the greatest. Alright, Yellow is next. Barriss Offee. She's a villain character. Yellow. Exhaust, use the Force, play an event from your hand, it costs 1 less. Okay, almost every deck's gonna run events. Flip, action, use the Force, play an event from your hand, it costs 1 less. Okay, so she's Bib Fortuna. If you don't know, Bib Fortuna is a 2-drop that his action is to tap him, and you get to play an event from your hand, and it costs 1 less. He's like a 1/3. This is fine. B tier. Everybody runs events. Like, I'm not jumping for joy. You have to have the Force to do it, so you have to sideline her with one of these. It's fine. On attack, use the Force, play an event from your hand, it costs 1 less. I mean, you have to have a Force token, you have to attack, oh, it's an action. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. She just got better. Action, use the Force, play an event from your hand, it costs 1 less. If you have a way to consistently get the Force, she is good. High B. She's not an A. She's not A, but she's close. She's really close. If you have a way of consistently getting the force, like if you were doing double yellow, I think that's the thing that hurts her, is that she's double yellow. She would be an A tier, because she could link with that. She would link with this, no problem. But because of that, you're going to be running, let's realistically talk here. Barisofri is the only character I think would make this base worth anything. The fucking monastery. The only character I feel that would make that worth a damn. And the reason why is because you can use its action, get the force whenever you need it. You can cast a fucking event from your hand. So if you're using a bunch of events, this is not a bad way of doing it. But personally, I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan. I don't like this base. Oop. We're losing frames. Come on, we're almost there. Don't die on me now. Okay, well, we're going to keep going. If I end up losing some of the stream, I end up losing some of the stream. I should have probably recorded it. Oh well, not a big deal. Okay, let's keep going. Grand Inquisitor. The Grand Inquisitor, stories travel quickly. Action, exhaust, use the force, attack with a friendly unit. The defender gets -2/-0 for this attack. I mean, I have not once ever played a deck where I'm not attacking enemy units. So this is fine. I don't think it requires using the force to do it, but it's fine. You flip him, he's shielded. On attack, defender gets -2/-0 for this attack. I don't like I don't like his other side. I would never flip him personally. Just because, yeah. D tier. He can go in the D tier. He's not the greatest. I'm not a fan. I don't even like his attack side. Cal Kestis. Now this one I'm actually kind of excited to see because I love the Star Wars video games, so I want to see what he does. Action, exhaust, use the force. An opponent chooses a ready unit they control, exhaust that unit. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that, just because of the fact that it's... Your opponent gets to choose. Your opponent decides what's going on. I don't like that. I really don't. What's his flip side? Oh, well, he's 4 resources, so that actually kind of makes him better. He's better than I thought, at least. On attack, an opponent chooses a ready unit. They control, exhaust that unit. I mean, it's the same thing. But if your opponent has a unit that's like... Let's say your opponent has like a big unit and a small unit. You swing with Cal Kestis every time, they're going to choose the small unit every time. Like, they're going to keep their small unit ready at all times because they know you're playing Cal Kestis. They're going to play around it. I hate to do it to you, Cal, but you're in C, and you're under Kylo Ren. Just because your ability is fine, but it's weak. It's really weak. Honestly, Rey... You know what? Rey's power's better. I hate to say it. I think Rey gets bumped to a C, Cal goes into D, which is sad because Rey's power isn't great, but it's consistent with the deck theme, whereas Cal is just weak. It sucks, but it is what it is. I didn't even look if the fucking attack required the force. It doesn't, which I mean is fine, but it's still really weak. Alright. Qui-Gon Jinn. This is, I believe, this is our first Qui-Gon card. So I'm actually kind of excited to see what it does. So, Action, use the Force. Return a friendly non-leader unit to its owner's hand. Play a non-villainous unit that costs less than the return unit from your hand for free. Okay, first of all, I love that ability. I really do. I love that ability so much because on theme, it's great because he's basically sacrificing something for something else. And if you're playing a bunch of when played abilities, this thing is going to just pop off. I'm going to play a 3-drop, which then cycles into a 2-drop, which cycles into a 1-drop. Like, eventually it hits the barrel, but it's still funny. I like it. Already sitting at a pretty high A. His attack, he's a 4/7 for 6, so he's pretty strong, all things considered. This unit completes an attack and survives. Return a friendly non-leader unit to its owner's hand. Play a non-villainous unit that less than the return unit from the hand for free. Same thing. It's literally just cycling your power. And again, it specifically says play. So a bunch of when played effects will love Qui-Gon. And there's so many in yellow. I'm thinking about it, and it's like, yeah, this is really strong. Qui-Gon's great. High A. He's next to Ahsoka. Like, I would say he and Ahsoka Tano are pretty close in power, in my opinion. Alright. Now comes the two that I'm actually the most excited for, because it's something unique. As you can tell, every other unit, or every other leader so far, has had 2 colors. These next two do not. One has villainy, the other is heroic. I'm super excited, because the next one we're looking at, I have already read. Darth Revan. When a friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit, exhaust this leader. If you do, give an experience token to that friendly unit. So, when you swing and you kill something... So, when you attack and you kill something, this thing just straight up gives an experience token to it. So, I'm going to swing and kill something and just suddenly, boom, done. Like, I give it more power. Flip side for 5, 3... He's a 3/6 for 5. Which, yeah, sounds about right. He has Restore 1. Oh, a villain with Restore 1. That's actually kind of cool. When a friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit, give an experience token to that friendly unit. Wait. And this doesn't exhaust him. So if you're playing a lot of high-powered stuff and you just start whacking out your opponent's shit, Revan's just going to power him up. Yeah, I'm putting him in S. I'm putting him in S tier. Just because I know a lot of decks that play really high-powered shit that really focuses on killing your opponent's stuff. Because one of the best strategies right now is keeping units off the board, using other units. And Revan being able to power up your units to do it, fantastic. I fucking love Darth Revan. I may build a Darth Revan deck, no joke. It doesn't require the Force to do... It doesn't require the Force to do any of these powers. It's just do it. Yeah, that's fantastic. I love it. Alright. Anakin Skywalker. Fucking hell. Star Wars really likes to suck on this man's teat. I'm telling you. This is what, the 4th card made for Annie? I'm of course counting Darth Vader. Because, let's think here. You had Darth Vader from the original Spark of the Rebellion. You had the new Darth Vader from Jump to Lightspeed. And then Twilight of the Republic, you had Anakin Skywalker. And now we've got another Anakin Skywalker, and it's pure heroism. Action, use the Force. Play a villain non-unit card from your hand, ignoring its aspect penalties. I mean, there's a lot of powerful villain cards. Like, just straight villain cards. And it's saying ignore its aspect penalties. Like, straight up, just ignore the fucking aspect penalties. So you're telling me if I'm playing a bunch of events, upgrades, and shit like that, this guy can just play, I can just play him? I mean, yeah, that doesn't sound bad. Action, use the force, play a villain non-unit card from your hand, ignore its aspect penalties. It's an action, and it's not a once per turn. This is what I'm talking about. And he's going in S tier 2. Despite the fact that they only have one color, it is not a hard once per turn on either side. Once you've deployed them, you can pop off. And you want to know something funny? Annie pairs up with this. This is, yeah, straight up legendary base, the only one that I feel deserves being in that spot. So, we're going to turn the stream off for a second, turn it back on, and then we're going to start doing the card by card. And that we're going to actually start recording by itself. So, I will be right back. Okay. So we're already losing fucking... Yeah, I have to stop the stream.